Call the meeting to order.
Commissioners, please make sure that you use your microphones. So the meeting is
Don't have
being
it on?
recorded.
Yeah, it's on. Okay. Okay, roll call, please.
Okay. Chair Conant,
Present.
Commissioner Cochran,
Present.
Commissioner Elphick,
Here.
Commissioner Wooten,
Here.
Commissioner Ziegenmeier.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, will we please stand and lead us? You're a veteran. Lead us to the.
Yes, I can do it.
Yeah.
Yes. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, for the record, I want to reflect that public alternate member Manny Cardoza is in the audience.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. First of all, item number 2 is a motion to approve the agenda, please.
motion.
Cochran. And Epic.
Elphick, yeah.
I always say it wrong, so.
That's okay.
Second. Okay, so motion has been made by Cochran and Eplick, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed unanimously. Item number 3. Pen doesn't work. Okay. Minutes for the July 13th meeting. Is there any questions or concerns about that?
Nope.
Nope.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Meyer and Wooten. And all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Public comment. The members of the public wish to address the commission on any matter of interest to the public that is not on agenda for a period of time not to exceed 5 minutes pursuant to the Brown Act. The commission cannot take any action on items not listed on the posted agenda, but may at a future agenda matter be brought under the public comment for appropriate action at the future meeting. Any members of the public wish to address the LAFCO board? Manny? No? Okay. All that for nothing. Okay. Moving on. Number 5. Condition to initiate amendment to the Planning Commission policies and standards, procedures, and commission bylaws to request public notice of hearings for proposed changes of organization and resignation. Doug, would you like to take this one?
I will certainly take that, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much. So I think as the commission knows, the LAFCO law provides an option where certain proposals can be brought forward to your commission without having to do a public notice or basically doing a lot of outreach to the community. That happened a couple of years ago on an annexation that was to Yuba City. And I believe commissioners received probably some negative feedback from the public as a result of that. Although it was lawfully done, it was provided for and met the requirements. And so based upon that, I thought it was timely to bring forward an item to see if your commission wanted to adopt as part of your bylaws a requirement that says even though it may qualify for such action, we want to have public hearings for those types of proposals. The only exception that I would call out for is when you have an individual property owner who has a failed septic system and they need to annex to get access to city sewer. That may be an opportunity where you don't need to do the notice and go through the process. It's not affecting any other properties in a neighborhood. So I bring that forward for your consideration and any additional feedback you may have. Thank you.
So I guess I'm one of the ones that initiated this. 2 years ago, there was an annexation, and I asked several questions about it, and nobody really had any concerns. We had no public opposed to it. 2 days later, my phone rings and gets bombarded by people saying, we didn't know, we weren't noticed, we didn't know anything about this annexation happening. We don't think it's appropriate. And we in the county, and I know the city does similar things, do notifications of property annexations for land use issues of multiple kinds, from truck stops to if you want to split a parcel or whatever. And I think public notice is critical and good and appropriate, especially under major land use change issues. So I asked Doug right when he took office, or took over here, not took office, but took over, to try to come up with some ideas. And I thought these were very good. I don't know, Doug, what our correct procedure is. We need to bring this up now and maybe adopt it at the next meeting?
So this is an opportunity for the commission to provide myself direction. And then I'll go put together the kind of proposed language and then come back likely at your next meeting for you to consider.
And then we'd approve it at the following meeting?
At the next meeting, yes, when I brought it forward, we will notice that appropriately, and then you can take action for adoption if you choose.
At the following meeting. So it'd be 3 meetings from now. Or
No, what I'm saying is I would try to get this back to you at your January meeting for
And
consideration.
we would approve it at the January meeting?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions by the commission? Yes, go ahead.
Through the chair, I just want to say I think it's very important that we communicate with the community like you're bringing forth here. It's difficult as a private citizen to know when all these things are going on. We're sitting here, so we know what's happening. We know that this is coming up. But they don't. They have, they're living a life that has, trying to put food on the table. And so it's difficult for them to know everything that's happening. And that may be of tremendous interest to them. So the more we can communicate with the community, I think the better.
So some of the thoughts I thought were important that we do is a letter for notification. And Doug, you thought that was good, that we just do a regular mail, not certified, correct?
Yes, ordinary mail is what the statute requires. And so I would take note that what's different from the LAFCO law, which from a normal planning project you might see at the city or county, is that in LAFCO, you're required to not only notify property owners within a certain distance, but you're also required to notify registered voters. And so there needs to be coordination done with the county's elections office. So there is a higher level of notice, I think, done at LAFCO than in other situations.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with that too. And I also thought one step further with some signage. And Doug and I were talking earlier today about signage issues. He says, obviously, we don't want to notify everybody about somebody wants to, like he said, wants to annex into the city because their septic tank has failed. But we do want to have signage put up for, let's say you're doing a development project on a corner of Bogue and Stewart or something, and you want to annex that into the city, let's say. I was thinking there should be signage put up so the public as they drive by, maybe don't even live right there, but they might live half a mile from there. I'd like to have known that. Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't have signage, they don't know because they may not be notified because of, it might be out of the distance from a letter. So I thought that was good. And he didn't see any, he said it can be problematic. We still got to work on some language for that, right, Doug?
So we could prepare some language that says if someone comes in to initiate a proposal from a property, we could have a public notification sign put on there. But I would just raise that there are situations in LAFCO which differ from normal land use applications that planning departments consider, is that LAFCO applications can be much broader. Mm-hmm. They can cover, for example, if you're changing a district boundary or dissolving a district boundary, it can cover a complete neighborhood or a large portion of a city.
or county.
Correct.
So that signage thing can be somewhat problematic, but I still think that Doug's thought was we could have signage put up at a key location, even if it's a huge area, and then there'd be a little pocket in that sign that would have maps in it that people could pull out, stop and pull out, and so they would understand the issue.
That'd be very good.
Right, Doug? And I think that public information, public notification is critical to any municipality, state, county, and LAFCO falls into that. It was kind of
That
a
is
gray
something
area. We
that
just,
Sutter County started several years ago.
right,
And I think it helped in the outreach to the public.
right. And it has. Is there, I know we're going to take us home, and this is the first time we really looked at it, so is there any other comments that the commission would like to make about this, or concerns you have about this, or, oh, Manny? Yes, please.
I think the sign is a wonderful idea, but putting flyers in the sign, it's a losing thing. You can put 50 of them in there, the first person comes by, that bad apple in the barrel is gonna take them and throw them away, and the people aren't gonna see them. I think the sign is all you really need. I drive, we drive up and down the state, stuff like that, it says future home of this, or future subdivision of that. And I think just the signs would be more than enough, and not have to, have somebody out there babysitting, putting maps in there every single day, people stealing them, not using them for what they're making. Thank you.
Through the chair.
Yeah. Mike.
There's a lot of communities using QR codes now too as well. Because you just put the QR code. I think
Oh, maybe that's-
97% of the public has cell phones nowadays. And they can't take anything, so just scan the QR code. It out pops a picture.
And that way you can have a lot more detail than a map or a, you know, that would lead them to a website that would tell them everything they could possibly want to know, plus more. I think that's a great idea, Mike. That might be the only good use for a PR code I know of.
Through the chair,
Yeah,
the verbiage on that would, he said, future home of, I would not use that type of terminology, but proposed.
right.
Proposed. Otherwise, all you do is just irritate the community. It's
Right.
already a done deal. Why should I
Well,
look at it?
yeah, and a sign, Doug, if I'm not mistaken, would be required to be put up at the expense of the developer or the owner of the property that wants to do the, correct?
Yeah, whoever files the LAFCO application.
Right. Okay. That's what we've always done in the county too.
So
Anything else?
make sure I'm hearing
Comments?
correctly, we would look at including no flyers, trying to incorporate some type of QR code, and it would show the proposed application type.
Right.
Okay.
And we'll still do the letters. I know that gets problematic, but
That's just a requirement of statute.
yeah. Okay.
So for the record, Mr. Chairman, could we please get a motion to initiate that?
Oh, yeah, is there a motion?
I so move.
Second.
And so, I can never say your name. Emma, Epic, I can't say that. Anyway, as a motion and a second by Zagemeyer. Okay,
Approve it?
oh, motion, yeah, we have a motion on the table and a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Okay, next item number 6 is a review of Commission 24 meeting calendar.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is really just a housekeeping item. Since LAFCO does not meet every month, your bylaws identify when meetings are to occur. And so what we thought would be helpful is to just call out those days in each month next year that your commission is slated to meet. No action by your commission is actually needed for this.
Sounds good.
Is there any concerns about these dates?
I move it be accepted.
We have a motion by Cochran,
I'll second that.
by Wooten?
I don't think we have to vote on
You
this.
you do not need to
No,
vote. This
oh,
is
that's
your-
right, you're right. Yeah.
It's just to bring to your
Public
attention when the meeting dates will be, if you wanted to put them in your calendars. If it would help, we could have, we could distribute a Outlook meeting request to those of you who handle meetings electronically, and we could send something out with that had those meetings for you, if that would be helpful.
To our staffs, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, if there's nothing to bring before the good of the order, anything else? Seeing none, meeting adjourned. Sorry I was late.
Okay, so one final thing. This is just one more housekeeping item. So the LAFCO site, SutterLAFCO.org, it was maintained by John with a bunch of other websites. We are migrating that over to a new location where we'll be able to oversee it. We're updating it a little bit just because it had, actually, when I went on there, it didn't even have initially all the current commissioners on there.
Oh,
So we've got that updated, and so we're going to be rolling that out probably by your next meeting. And so we'll also kind of factor in the QR code idea into that design. So anyway, that's it. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you, Doug.